This is the world that you know.
Since you're attacking us, can you give us a question? No, Mr. President-elect.
Go ahead.
Mr. President-elect, since you are attacking our news organization, can you give us a chance?
Your organization
You are
is
attacking
terrible.
our news organization.
Your organization
Can you give us a
is
chance
terrible.
to ask a question, sir?
Go ahead.
Sir, can
Quiet.
you state,
Quiet.
Mr. President-elect,
Go ahead.
can you state
She's
categorically,
asking a question. Don't
Mr.
be rude.
President-elect, can you give us a question?
Don't be
You're
rude.
attacking us. Can you give us a question?
Don't be rude.
Can you
No,
give
I'm not
us a
going to give you a
question?
question. I'm not going to give you a question.
Can you state categorically?
You are fake news.
Sir,
go ahead.
Can you state categorically that nobody... No, Mr. President-elect, that's not
Go ahead.
appropriate.
Hey, look at this! Donald Trump taking down Mr. McMahon! Oh, my God! The hostile takeover of Donald Trump on Vince McMahon has happened at WrestleMania 23. I didn't think he would do it. I kissed him and said,
Fool me once, fool me once, fool me once. Shame on, shame on. Shame on you, shame on you, shame on you. Fool me, take it, fool again, take it, fool again, take it, fool again, take it, fool again, take it, fool again.
You know, what she did with emails was fine. You think it was fine to delete 33,000 emails? I don't think so. She said the 33,000 emails had to do with her daughter's wedding, number one, and a yoga class. Well, maybe we'll give 3 or 4 or 5 or something. 33,000 emails deleted. And now she's saying there wasn't anything wrong.
It's just not true, and so please go
you didn't
to
delete them?
Allow her to respond, please.
personal emails, not official.
33,000? Hillary Clinton, I think, is a terrific woman. I mean, I'm a little biased because I've known her for years. I live in New York. She lives in New York, and I've known her and her husband for years, and I really like them both a lot. And as you know, most people know, she's a world-class liar. Hillary's a great friend of mine. Her husband is a great friend of mine. They're fantastic people. I mean, you know the thing, they get a bad knock. She's a very nice woman. People think tough, and I guess she's tough, but she's a very nice woman, and he's a very nice guy. We know all about the smarts and how smart they are, and all, but they are good people. There's never been anybody in the history of politics in this nation that's been so abusive to women. Hillary Clinton attacked those same women and attacked them viciously. 4 of them here tonight. Hillary's a great friend of mine. Her husband is a great friend of mine. They're fantastic people. I mean, but she's a very nice woman, and he's a very nice guy. These are all lies. We say lie, 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 lie. Lie. Dirty, rotten liar.
No, but why did she get rid of it? Hillary, rotten Clinton. Rotten Clinton. Hillary, rotten Clinton, right?
And they are, just really terrific people. I like them both very much, but I think you'll be looking at the record of Hillary Clinton and how did she do as Secretary of State, probably above and beyond everybody else and everything else. It's a disgrace, and honestly, you ought to be ashamed of yourself.
Secretary Clinton, I want to follow up on that. I'm going to let you talk about email.
Because everything he just said is absolutely false, but I'm not... It's just awfully good that someone with the temperament of Donald Trump is not in charge of the law in our country.
Because you'd be in jail.
Secretary Clinton.
Hillary's a great friend of mine. Her husband is a great friend of mine. They're fantastic people. I mean, but she's a very nice woman. Where she destroyed 33,000 emails criminally.
I'm a newcomer to politics, but not to backing the Jewish state. In 2001, weeks after the attacks on New York City and on Washington, and frankly, the attacks on all of us, attacks that they were perpetrated by the Islamic fundamentalists, Mayor Rudy Giuliani visited Israel to show solidarity with terror victims. I sent my plane because I backed the mission for Israel 100%. Iran is the biggest sponsor of terrorism around the world, and we will work to dismantle that reach. Believe me, believe me. I've been with Israel so long in terms of I've received some of my greatest honors from Israel. My father before me, incredible. My daughter Ivanka is about to have a beautiful Jewish baby. When I become president, the days of treating Israel like a second-class citizen will end on day one.
So what do you think of my Trump home mattress collection by Serta? Finally, the same luxury and comfort I demand in my hotel.
What do you have in mind?
Something you were born to do.
Welcome to room 9.
Looking good, number 9, looking good.
Where's your dignity?
Welcome back, Truth Seekers. We started that off with a really good video from TruthMediaRevolution. Really enjoyed that video. I want to do a little supplement at the end. I know TruthMediaRevolution has been following me for more than a year, so I really wish he would do this because I think it would be empowering for exposing the knowledge of Gematria. It's something I've been doing for 3 years. I've been hoping more of the bigger channels on YouTube, such as him, would be sharing the knowledge by now. And I think in time he will. He's almost there, emphasizing this 11-9 at the end. Let's talk more about this 11-9. Let's just start with how it's relevant to Donald Trump. I have a video on this from the day after the election. This 2010 Serta mattress ad talking about being born for the job, wearing the same suit and tie as election night. This sheep saying, "Where is your dignity?" And the numbers 11 and 9 on the screen. Donald Trump was announced as the 45th president on the anniversary of the fall of the Berlin Wall, November 9th, 2016. The name Donald in Jewish Gematria is 119. Very special number. With regards to him being the 45th president and being announced as the 45th president to be 45th president-elect on the anniversary of the fall of the Berlin Wall in Gematria sums to 45. So this number 119 is very important. Donald Trump is the second Republican president since George Herbert Walker Bush. The last Republican president was his son, George Walker Bush, and now Donald Trump. Between George Herbert Walker Bush, there's been 2 Democratic administrations, 8 years of Clinton, 8 years of Obama. And remember, Donald Trump was a registered Democrat until the beginning of Obama's presidency, the whole birther argument thing. So anyhow, George Herbert Walker Bush, who was the president for the first Gulf War, he was the vice president to Ronald Reagan, he was the head of the CIA before becoming vice president. And think about this, who do you think had more knowledge and power in the White House? The actor from Hollywood, Ronald Reagan, or the head of the CIA, born into a political dynasty, George Herbert Walker Bush, who would have his son go on to be the next Republican president? I really think there's something about the vice president being a lot more important than the president. The president more the figurehead, the vice president more the brains. George Herbert Walker Bush, I can't even think of his vice president, but just think about his son, Dick Cheney, who seemed a lot more with it than the son, George Walker Bush. You know, right now you have Joe Biden, who's been in Washington, D.C. forever. Obama, a relatively new name on the scene, came out of nowhere. The one-hit wonder. Anyhow, New World Order, check this out. George Herbert Walker Bush spoke about the New World Order twice. On September 11th, 1990, his address before a joint session of Congress, he mentioned the 5th objective. This is the exact quote from his speech. He talks about establishing a new world order can emerge, a new era, freer from the threat of terror. Terror. Think about what would happen 11 years to the day. His son, the president, World Trade Center, terrorist attack. World Trade Center, one world order. The new world order being run by bankers, industrialists, media conglomerates. Stronger in the pursuit of justice and more secure in the quest for peace. In Gematria, the word order equals 33. And the New World Order is a Freemasonic world order. Freemasons pride themselves on being the keepers of knowledge, the ancient knowledge such as Gematria, the practice of coding numbers into words. And all throughout history, they've made history by the numbers. September 11th, 911. Remember, 911, 911, the 156th prime number. When you write out 33 as a word, it sums to 156. The firm that built the World Trade Centers, Magnuson Klemenkic Associates, their name equals 156. The World Trade Centers lasted from 68 to 2001, 33 years. 911 made the National Emergency Dialing Code in 1968. World Trade Center construction began in New York in 1968. And George Walker Bush graduated from Yale's Skull and Bones in 1968, all 33 years before becoming president. The alumni of Skull and Bones are called Bonesmen. Just show you this real quick. Bonesmen. Bonesmen equals 33. Just like Masonry, just like secrecy. George W. Bush graduated in 1968, 33 years before taking the White House in 2001, before 9/11 happened. Again, when you write out 33, it sums to 156. When you write out Magnuson Klemenkic Associates, it equals 156. 911, the 156th prime. If you've ever seen the movie Truman Show, that movie came out on June 5th in the theaters, which is the 156th day of the year. The main character's name is Truman Burbank, and the movie's a tribute to the 33rd president who created the CIA, all the things that spy on us, track us. That movie Truman Show was mocking all of our existence. The truth about this world we live in, a world that we've been lied to and don't understand. So anyway, September 11th, 1990, George Herbert Walker Bush gives the speech about establishing a new world order. Terror, the first thing mentioned. It's not hard to see. Well, he did it again. He gave another speech, this time on March 6th, 1991. And what's funny is I took this information from this website that's saying that there's no conspiracy here. It's okay to say New World Order. It's not a big deal. All these people who try to discredit the obvious understand that they are paid to do just that. They're trying to steer people astray. Here's the proof that it was no coincidence he delivered it March 6th, 1991. That is a date with 119 numerology. 3 plus 6 is 9, plus 19 is 28, plus 91 is 119. Like All-Seeing Eye, like Star of David, like Master Plan, like the way most of the world writes the date September 11th, the day before the month, 11/9, 119. The other thing that's interesting is March 6th, written 3/6, is a lot like 36. If you count every number that sums 1 through 36, add them together, it sums to 666, 666, number of the beast. Let me show you something about number of the beast in New World Order. Number of the beast, 174, New World Order. And the New World Order is very Masonic. It is very Jewish. It is very occult, which just means they're into the hidden knowledge, like Gematria. And this number 74, it's just so relevant to our culture in the United States of America, from our Independence Day to our alphabet to our language. What do you think Independence Day equals in Gematria? This is a slightly altered method based on the alphabetic order. You turn each letter into a single digit. I is the 9th letter, N's the 14th letter. Using the alphabetic order, Independence Day sums to 128. Using the reduced method, N's the 14th letter. 1 plus 4 becomes 5, so N's worth 5. You make each letter a single digit using numerology, just adding the parts of the number together. Independence Day, 74, just like holiday. And Independence Day in the U.S. is what day? July 4th. alphabetic order. This is what Gematria is based on. Alphabetic order, 137, that's the 33rd prime number. Reduce it, 74. 33, 74, very important pairings to the Freemasons, used again and again. Out of the 50 states, only one sums to 74. It's Oregon, the 33rd state, which is abbreviated OR. Only 1 out of 50. 2% of the states have a gematria of 74. None of this is coincidence. This is all thought out. This is a planned numerical system. Ancient alphabets are based on gematria. Some of those ancient alphabets, such as Greek, which the New Testament of the Bible was first retranslated in. Greek also 26 letters. In gematria, the God number is 26. Why the English alphabet's 26 letters? And look at this. With regards to the New Testament, Gospel, the first 4 books of the New Testament, the story of Jesus, Jesus the Messiah, who died on the cross. There's a reason that all of these numbers have been encoded. And I can't tell you the full extent of the reason. I live and learn. But in the time I've been aware of this knowledge, I've seen how this number is a powerful number in my life. And, you know, there's a belief out there that numbers have power and God communicates through numbers. This 74, it's coded into other spiritualities of the world, such as the Quran. Their spiritual leader is Muhammad. Whole lot more. So anyway, this is the language of the New World Order. Gematria, and I should mention these two 74s. Masonic, Jewish, or I think we did start there. But just for good measure. And again, we began with 174, which has the 7-4 sequence in it. Number of the beast, New World Order. Talking about George H.W. Bush delivering the speech on 3-6. Add 1 through 36 together, it sums to 666, the number of the beast from Revelation 13:18. So anyway, just want to supplement Truth Media Revolution's video. Also, today, January 12th, the same day Truth Media put out this video that I'm resharing. Today, Mad Dog Mattis, who was a Marine for 44 years, look at this, Mad Dog 44, Military 44, the word kill 44 using the alphabetic order. Mad Dog, the Marine for 44 years. Donald Trump about to be the 44th person to be president, even though he's number 45. Today, he was going before his hearing, and John McCain asked him about his allegiance to the New World Order. Listen to this. Unreal.
You are a distinguished student of history, and as we are all aware, that following World War II, a world order was established, which has held for basically the last 70 years. Do you believe that world order is now?
Did you hear how he did that? That New World Order? How he sneaks it in there. These people are made to say these things. They're rituals. And they are definitely aware that social media is catching on. Did you notice Obama's final speech, how he spoke to the social media presence? He told people like myself, if I want to do something, to go out and get a clipboard and collect signatures and run for office. As if that's how the system works. You know, that's the joke about Obama, and the whole time he's been speaking, if you're not ignorant, you've seen right through all of his words. Go out and get a clipboard and get signatures and run for office. Like that's going to happen. Can you imagine a person like me raising enough money to compete with the senators who have millions of dollars behind them to campaign? You know, I just worked my ass off for over 3 years, and I struggled to raise $14,000 to get this website built and to fund this, you know? How am I going to get millions of dollars to run for office, even if I got signatures? And who has the time to go out and get all those signatures, as many as you got to get? That's how the New World Order leaders treat us, like we're idiots. They say things to us, and they just expect us to nod our head and go along. No, I'm sorry, Obama. I'm going to keep doing what I'm doing because this is effective. People need to know what kind of tyrants are in power. Let's continue.
Did you see how he just did that?
Oh, that's me. That's where I start ranting. But hold on, there's more here. I think it's right here. Here we go.
Under more strain than it's ever been.
I think it's under the biggest attack since World War II, sir, and that's from
Russia from terrorist groups and with what China is doing in the South China Sea.
Okay, so 2 important points. The New World Order includes the United States, Europe, Russia, China. The New World Order is the world order. Freemasonry is worldwide. It's all cultures. It's east, west, north, south. It's the religions of the world. The people at the top, it's all Freemasonry, even in the Middle East. You know, Saddam Hussein, all these people, they're all part of the gang. The leader of Syria, his birthday is September 11th. And not by coincidence, New Year's Day on the Coptic calendar is September 11th. New Year's Day, New World Order, September 11th, a New World Order ritual. And if you've never heard of the Project for a New American Century, look it up. They had a document calling for a new Pearl Harbor to start the new century. September 11th, 2001 was the new year of the new century on the Coptic calendar. They got their new Pearl Harbor to start their ongoing war empire agenda, which is an old agenda. You know, this nation's always at war. That's what the U.S. is. It's like the bicep military of the New World Order. Came over here and created a genocide to build up this military state. Now look at what they've done. Created this Zionist state, created decades of war, needless struggle worldwide, so that certain people can sit at the top like kings, queens. So anyway, New World Order, it's everything. This whole Russia-US, it's all a show to divide the people. They'll send these nations to war with each other, but they're all in bed together. The leaders don't care. That's the point to understand. The people who get behind these leaders who are trying to deceive us and work us up into nothing, they don't care about us. And the other point to make here is, did you notice how John McCain made it seem like the New World Order was established at the end of World War II? And Mad Dog Mattis said, with his words, made it clear that the New World Order is a lot older than World War II, but it's been in a struggle ever since World War II, an ongoing struggle. The New World Order is an old world order. The United States of America was established by the New World Order, which is a free, Masonic, Jewish, banker tyrant world order. Not all Jewish people are to blame, but it is Jewish Zionists at the top, known as the Synagogue of Satan in the Bible, the false Jews, who are responsible for much of this wrongdoing. So thank you, Truth Media Revolution. If you're not subbed to his channel, he's a channel worth subscribing. He puts out really good content, and I wish he would just add a little Gematria. You know, he could spread the knowledge. He's got 111,000 subscribers. So there it is, Truth Seeker. Until next time.